WordPress plugin that will actually help filter out spam messages from your contact form by using AI to determine whether or not the message is spam. And if it's spam, it discards it but logs the data so that you can follow along. It'll also have a drag and drop builder that'll allow you to build your own forms, very similar to Gravity Forms. And then we're also going to have it, then if the message is spam, it discards it but logs it so you can review it. If it's valid, it'll send it to your inbox. And then you can flag certain messages as spam, that sort of thing. So a pretty complicated plugin. Without further ado, my name is David, and I run the $5 Plugin Club, which $5 gets you access to everything I've ever built, and I'll be adding to it weekly. Every day on Monday, we'll have a new plugin to be added to the club. And so this is this week's version. So I've already gone ahead and scoped out a prompt for this from Claude Code. And I went on to Claude Web and actually had it build this out. And so it's got all of the structure, it has everything. And then we're just going to copy that. And then we're going to go back to our editor and drop in some instruction. First, we're going to switch models. So let's do that right now. They don't have Opus 4.5 yet in Claude Code. I'm on Claude Max, so let's try this with Opus 4.1. Paste in our prompt, and then we'll see what it does. So as you can see, we had a pretty comprehensive ask that really sets everything up. They said they were going to make 4.5 available to users, but unfortunately at this time, we're at about 4:38 a.m. on Tuesday, November 25th. They haven't made Opus 4.5 available, but what we're going to be doing is experimenting with building this out with Opus to see if the quality's better, if we get to the end goal quicker. And that's basically what we're going to try to do. So we have a name for our plugin now. It's called Smart Form AI. And then if we scroll up to the plugin library here, let's remove some of this stuff so we can actually see it. Still creating the plugin admin file. Here it is, Smart Form AI. Let's see what we got. We got our basic start to our project, and then it's going to build out the rest of it as it goes along. We've got some includes now, the activator, and yeah, it's going to build this out, so I'm going to let it bake for a little bit, and then I'll come back once we have something more meaningful to look at. But for now, enjoy watching the clodding, and we'll be back in just a second. All right, so our project completed, and basically I built the whole thing out. It has all the requested features, so we've got a main plugin file with proper WordPress headers. We've got 4 new database tables, a form builder with a drag and drop interface with jQuery UI, AI integration, so it's going to use Claude Haiku to analyze the emails, and then if they're spam, it'll reject them. If they're good, it'll send them to the SMTP to be sent. So by doing it this way, you're actually cutting down on all the spam emails that you're going to get, because AI is basically rejecting them before they ever hit your inbox. But it also gives you the opportunity to teach the AI what is spam and what isn't. So we've got a pattern learning engine already built in. So it's going to learn from its mistakes and figure out what emails are spam and what are not. We're also going to add an SMTP handler in there so that we can pick where we want the email to be routed to, and it'll solve that. So you won't need a separate plugin for that. You're going to get an admin interface with statistics and charts. Front end components will help render the thing on the front end. And then we have security features built in, which isn't usually something that Claude does right out of the gate. Usually you have to prompt it and tell it to use WordPress security best practices. But yeah, it's cool that it built that in. This is the plugin structure. No external dependencies, just one plugin, activate it, it takes care of everything else. Pattern learning improves spam detection over time. Multi-site compatible, GDPR compliant. So really, Opus, I think, does a really good job. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but we are almost out of usage with Opus. And so we got maybe 18 minutes of usage out of it before it crapped out. So let me switch back to Sonnet 4.5 for any changes that we need. Opus is good, but it's just really expensive, you know. So let's go to the back end and see what we got. I believe the plugin's called SmartForm AI. Yep, there we go. And let's see what we've got. SmartForm AI, here we are. Oh, cool. So here's our builder. Well, it would be nice if we could actually add these fields to the builder. Let me go and troubleshoot that. Let's check for any JavaScript errors first. Yeah, there are numerous JavaScript errors here. So to troubleshoot these, we're just going to show it a screenshot. It's always important to go to developer tools. So the way you do that is you just basically right click and click inspect, and then click on the console, and you'll see all this. These are all the errors that happen when the page tried to render some things or tried to work. And so if you copy these errors and you give them back to Claude, Claude will be able to analyze them and figure out its own issues. So we'll just send them that and say, I cannot add new So by doing that, now Claude has got all the information it needs to troubleshoot this error. So it's right now metamorphosizing. Sometimes I wonder where it comes up with this stuff. Metamorphosizing is not even a word, I don't think. Alright, it's all done. Let's see what we got. Let's see if we have to go to title. No, still broken. So now I'm going to tell it that I did a hard refresh. And that I still am getting similar errors. Sent the screenshot over. So we'll see what it does with that. So we're still getting the same errors. Let me try reactivating and deactivating the plugin and see if that works. So now I'm starting to get a little upset with it. So what I'm asking it to do now is to add some debugging on the server side as well as browser side so we can get to the bottom of this. Because if it gets more data points from debugging, it's probably going to be able to figure out what the issue is. But if we don't start debugging, it's never going to get there. It's just going to keep guessing. So that's what it's doing now. It's setting up the debugging, and then once that part of it's done, I'm hoping that it'll deliver us some more information that's a little bit better. Alright, so we still have some errors, which we're going to just right click here now and click copy console. That'll grab all of them so that we can send it over to Claude. So let's do this. That's all I needed. Now it's going to go through. It's going to marinate now. So we're marinating. and hopefully it'll be able to figure things out. It also added debugging on the server side, which it'll be able to check as well. Okay, so jQuery UI loaded. Sortable is available. Actually, that's not what it says. It says sortable is not available, I think. Yeah, sortable available is true, but draggable is not. All right, we've got forms now. Let's delete that field. Okay, let's do email. Let's do and then let's finish it up with a text area for a message. All right, we'll save that. Okay, let's preview this. The preview doesn't look like it's working. Alright, so now it's adding a little bit more debugging. It's working on getting some different stuff built out so that we can have a So it's like completely hallucinating right now because I told them the preview wasn't working. No, the issue I had all along was with the preview. So I told it the other requirements and hallucinated. It's been doing that a lot lately. It's been very, very glitchy since they rolled out. Since they rolled out the new model, Opus 4.5, Sonnet 4.5 has become super glitchy, super buggy. Um, it it's just really kind of hallucinating a lot more. So you really have to be on it. You have to check it and make sure that what it's telling you is making sense, because otherwise it's just a load of BS. All right. Well, let's see if this works now. Oh, okay. So this is our preview. Cool. Well, let me see. The short code, boom, right there. Let's put this on a page and, well, actually, it won't send because we don't have SMTP set up yet. But we can set a redirect URL. It's got a thank you message. Okay, let's look at the dashboard. Oh no. Okay, critical error. So let's screenshot that. There we go. The dashboard loads now. And so we can see like how many total submissions, how many were blocked, what are approved. We've got our short codes right here. We would have to add our API key there. And then all the submissions would wind up back in here. Spam patterns, the AI will automatically detect those. And then yeah, we've got basically a little prompt here and email settings. Wow, this is pretty cool. So we would just have to fill out our SMTP information here. Pretty cool. Alright, so let's start testing this bad boy, see how it goes. Alright, first we'll need our API key. API connection successful. Cool. Okay. Let's see if we can test this out. The UI does not look so hot, so I'm going to get them to fix that. Alright, here we go. There we go, much better. Oh wait, in order for this to actually send, we're going to need to set up SMTP, so let me do that. Alright, so we've got our settings now. Let me go into the SMTP. Alright, let's test it. Okay, so the test email worked. Let me check it. Alright, so let's double check where this will be sent to. We want to make sure we can set where the email is going to go to for each form. So that's a critical thing that we have to include. So let's make sure it's in there. So now what we're doing is we're customizing how the email fields will come out. So let's do email next. Phone number. They call it phone. Yeah, just phone. All right. Got that set up. Now let's save it. Doesn't look like it's saved successfully, so let me fix that. Now I'm asking it if it created a new database table, because maybe that's why the information didn't save, because we haven't activated the plugin again and reactivated the database table. So it said it didn't create a database table for this at all. What it wants me to do is it's actually saving the information as post meta, and each form is a separate custom post type. So that actually might be more efficient than creating a database table. But, it has to save properly, so that's what we're working on now, and then let's try this again. Yep, there we go. There's our form submission. Let's go back to the main page. Alright, so we sent that off. Now let's go back to the dashboard and see if it captured it. Didn't capture the submission there. So let's fix that. And then I'm asking it to check the debug logs. I think it's more of a server-side thing at this point, but we'll see. Alright, it says it fixed it, so let's do a hard refresh. Let's go back to our example page. Alright, cool. Let me see what's going on the back end. Oh, and it went through. The SMTP worked. I got it on my end. Great. And as you can see, this is what it looks like. Let's check the back end to see what actually got sent. It was approved. It looked like everything was good. No spam patterns detected. We would need a larger sample size, I think, at this point to pass judgment on whether or not the spam filtering is actually working. But at least with the SMTP we set up went through. It came through on my end, and then I think with a little bit more testing and debugging, it would be ready to at least see what it's capable of producing. And so the final verdict, I would say, Opus is nice, but we only got about 20 minutes of usage out of Opus before it rate limited us. So I think for overall, for what we were able to get done in about the hour or so that we were working on this, I think Opus is good. I'm really hopeful to see if Opus 4.5 is cheaper, better, and faster like it's supposed to be. Now, they just released the model yesterday, so I haven't seen it in Claude Code yet. I am on the max plan, so maybe at some point the max plan would be will get Opus 4.5 in Claude Code. Was really hoping to test it out, but Opus 4.1, I think for the most part did a pretty good job, but we'll see. So that's it for today's video. Thank you all for watching and have a great day.